Hi QA folks. In this video, let's talk about specifics of testing mobile applications comparing to testing web applications or websites. So the primary difference between mobile apps testing and website testing lies in the environment and the hardware integration. While web testing focuses on browser compatibility and responsive design, when you change it, for example, the width, the view. Mobile testing must account for physical device variations, mobile operating system differences, like Android versus iOS, and network connectivity issues, and mobile form factor. Now, mobile applications are tightly coupled with the device and operating system they run on, right? An Android app that works perfectly on a Google Pixel device might behave differently on a Samsung device with a custom Android skin, or even crash on an older device with limited memory. Similarly, an iOS app might require testing across both iPhone and iPad form factors and across multiple iOS versions, 15, 17, and other latest. On top of UI concerns, QA must also validate hardware-dependent features like GPS, cameras, fingerprint sensors, and accelerometers, elements that web applications rarely interact with. Another key distinction lies in deployment and updates. A web app update is instantly available to all users once deployed to the server when developers made the deployment, right? So you can just refresh or open your browser or refresh the page, and you will see the new version right away. On the mobile devices, it's not like that. By contrast, mobile app updates require packaging, meaning the installation file, APK for Android and .ipa for iOS, sign-in with certificate, distribution via app stores or internal tools, and in the case of iOS, passing Apple review process. On mobile devices, you need to install each version manually or through specific distribution channels like test flight for iOS, for example. Or you can sign with certificate via Xcode and install on your device directly. There are a few different ways to do that, but anyway, it's much more complicated than just refreshing a web page or restarting a browser, reopen the browser window. Now, I prepared some kind of checklist, what you should test or what you should pay attention to or take into consideration, right? So first of all, you must test on multiple devices with different iOS versions. And in most cases, it should be done or conducted on real smartphones. There are a few simulators for Android and iOS, for Android at least, but they do not really work well. So in most cases, you must have a few mobile devices in your hands with few different kind of manufacturers. I mean, for example, Google Pixel, Samsung device, some other manufacturers' devices, and different operational systems. And in most cases, it will be not cost effective to buy all those different kind of devices with different screen sizes and everything and provide them for you for testing. So for this purpose, in most cases, you will be using some cloud services that provide access to different kind of devices, for example, browser stack or AWS device farm, something like that. But those are paid cloud services, and your company should be paying for those. All right. But anyway, the testing should be done on different devices with different screen sizes, operating system versions, and so on. Now, the next thing is test notifications and alerts. For example, test notifications from the app when the app is in the foreground, background, and completely closed. Charging state, connect, disconnect the charger to see if it triggers unwanted refreshes or UI glitches. System alerts, check behavior when the 10% battery remaining system pop-up appears. A different kind and other types of system alerts is just an example. Also, in incoming calls or text messages, receive a call text while using the app, verify it resumes correctly and continue to work and staying on the same screen, for example, right? Next point, background and app state management. So send the application to background and back to foreground. So minimize it and open it again without closing it completely. Close it completely and open again. Again, those are separate dedicated test cases that should be tested. Use the task switcher to jump to another app and back, verify you land on the same screen. Lock the screen during some process, verify, unlock it, verify continuous or resumes upon unlock. Open multiple heavy apps to force the operating system to reclaim memory or to force close your app. Check if your app recovers data upon relaunch. Next item is test orientation and display. For example, change screen orientation, portrait of landscape, see how, verify how the application behaves. Again, one of the examples, rotate 3+ times rapidly, ensure elements don't overlap, disappear, or reset form fields if you are on some screen that requires some fields to be filled in. Also, open the keyboard on small screens, ensure it doesn't block the submit button or text fields. This one, I see this bug a lot when I was testing on iPhone SE, for example, with a smaller screen resolution screen size. In a lot of cases, developers do not implement that kind of scrolling or adding additional space for small screen sizes, so you can basically click on some buttons on the bottom of the screen, I mean. Now, connectivity and permissions. Switch, for example, switch from Wi-Fi to 5G, 4G. Mid-action check for seamless transition. Also, airplane or offline mode. Verify that no internet error messages are user-friendly and the app doesn't hang or doesn't crash. Also, network throttling. Simulate slow 2G or 3G speeds to test if the app times out or displays some useful loading spinner or progress bar. Also, when you first time install the app and opens it, it will ask for some permissions that the application might need. Maybe it doesn't need any of those kind of sensor permissions. But anyway, deny camera or GPS permissions and verify the app handles the access denied state without crashing. Also, test somewhere in dead zones, meaning testing for graceful degradation when a signal is lost entirely. For example, in elevator or some tunnel, whatever, when there is no connection to network. And last but not least, updates. Update the app to a new version, verify user settings and login session are preserved. Also, uninstall and install the app again for the same version, for example, and verify that the user data is preserved. So those that should give you the idea about specifics testing on mobile devices, it's also quite often being asked on the interviews. So I hope it helps. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.